Hey, folks. Welcome once again to another episode of the Buttery Males podcast. As always, alongside me are the other hosts. We got Rob Morrissey, we got Jacob Boyer, we got Zach Mortar, Brennan Borse, and myself, Jacob Demansky. How is everyone doing today?
Great. Thanks, Jake.
Well, thank you.
Word.
Doing
We all good?
very well.
How about
Swag.
you, my friend?
You don't need to ask. I'm fine. I guess I
Okay.
just told
Sorry,
you.
is that a little personal? I apologize.
I don't want to get into it. I just don't want to get into
you
it.
don't ask Jake Demansky about his day, okay?
I
You
ask
just don't.
you. You don't ask me. No, I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you very much for asking.
You know what?
Just
No
you really
problem.
pissed me off actually when you did that. But
Jacob, I don't know if you chimed in there, buddy. How are you tonight? Setting it up, spiking it down, knocking it out of the park tonight, Jacob. Killing it.
Silence
Always a
speaks
pleasure as
volumes.
always. Thank you for being here.
cool.
Zach is returned. Zach was in Boston for a couple
Yeah,
weeks. How-
yeah. Zach had a
how-
little prolonged sojourn.
You
Dude.
shipped up to Boston, and now they
Shipped
shipped
up,
you home.
shaped out.
Do you got that wooden
Yeah,
leg,
I was-
baby?
I was hanging out with a very close personal friend of mine. You might know him from a podcast called The Boys, Mike Mitchell. I call him Mitch because I'm such good close personal friends with him. I
Could
was
we
up
could we take
there-
that again?
Yeah, let's edit that out.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Okay, so I actually went up to Boston to hang out with a friend of mine named Mike, which is true. Not saying his last name because he is a real friend of mine. Him, another friend of mine, Kyle, and I all went dirt biking on 3 different trails. We went to 3 different locations. One was the October State Mountain Park, State Forest. We went camping there for one night, and then we went dirt biking the next day, like all day, like 60 miles of trail riding, which got very, very intense for the first time I've ever ridden like actual off-road trails. It was insane. It was up and
That
down.
sounds
sides of
fucking
mountains.
awesome. I don't
It
mean to
was
interrupt. That just
so
sounds like
much
so much
fun.
fun.
No.
Camping the night before and then going out on the. That sounds like a great time.
It was so sick. We just brought the trailer right to the campsite, and from there, it was right at the state park where there was just tons of like free to ride
Damn,
trails.
I
that-
love this.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And technically, at the state park we were at, they're unmaintained state public roads. So at night, later that night when it was dark, we went back in my friend Mike's Jeep Wrangler, and we took the trailer off, put the bikes on the trailer, took them off, and at night we went in just the Jeep, and Kyle and I, being the 2 passengers, got really drunk, and then we're off-roading on these same trails basically in the Jeep as Mike drove us around. And we're fucking shaking back. It was insane. It was such a fun time. And then the next place was Hodges Village Dam, and that's maintained by the U.S. Army engineers or engineers of armies or whatever. That was they built the Hoover Dam. They're like responsible for tons of massive projects, and this is like just one of their. It's just unmaintained rather trails. It's just for off-road vehicles and dirt bikes, and it felt like a roller coaster at a lot of the points because you're going up these steep hills that are narrow one-track trails that are just wide enough for someone on a dirt bike to go through, and they're deep dugout ruts almost. So like there's 2 feet on either side of you up. That's like knee high basically. The land is knee high on either side of you, but in the rut you're like 2 feet deep in these ruts going up and down these like huge hills, winding like bermed turns around things. And like the second place had a lot of sand, so like if you're not careful, your wheels slips out, and like around the berm turns you kind of have to really anticipate
around
it,
the berm turns.
Yeah. It was so much fun. It was amazing. I had a great time. I do want to start out though this week with a return segment of a mic check. 1 2 1 2. I want to know how you guys feel about a fight against Mike Wazowski and Michael Scott. from The Office. Discuss.
Wait, I'm sorry. Mike Wazowski's who again?
I feel like all you got to do is
Green tennis ball from Monsters Inc.
literally all you have to do is just
Oh.
sneeze right on his eye, and he's sat down for the count.
Michael Scott.
That's true. That's true. So okay, we've got to vote for Michael Scott.
Okay, hold on. I need more info. So like, this is just like fisticuffs, like no holds bar.
It's to the death though. It's for sure to the death.
Okay, and is this in like a ring, or like where are we fighting at?
That's a good point. Well, given the premise last week that with Mike Myers versus Michael Myers, it was kind of a free form wherever.
Kind of based on the movies. Okay, so I got one for you. Mike Wazowski is my pick for sure because dude can go through any closet he wants and just pop out and surprise a motherfucker. Yeah. Like, I bet Michael Scott has goddamn closets in his house all over the place.
True, that is.
Yeah,
this is very true. But
this is Mike Wazowski for sure. Plus, he's a monster. I mean, come on.
That's also true. He's a real life monster.
But the thing is how, like, okay, so have you ever had that gut reaction when you've been, like, startled and your first instinct
Michael Scott
is to, like, tense up? So, yeah, no, I think that, okay, I feel like Michael Scott is the type of person who, if you startle him, he's going to do, like, a quick, like, front kick or a punch or something as like, a sort of gut instinct retaliation.
Right into
and
giant
literally
mouth.
Right into his giant, his giant eye that takes up like 40% of his entire body. And I mean, if you get punched or kicked in your eye, you're down for the count. You can easily run away.
But do you not think that Mike Wazowski would see it coming with that massive eye?
With that giant eye.
You can probably see
Mike
through shit with that thing.
That is a good
He might
point.
see in slow motion. Like, he might live in bullet time.
Hey, who is if somebody has their phone on vibrate?
Someone has their phone like right next to the.
Who the hell is that? Who
I
is recording on their phone right now?
I was about to say, I know the answer.
Who the hell is doing that, recording on their phone with notifications? That's a little messed up.
But yeah,
Probably
I don't know.
First time or something.
I think what I will say about this whole thing is that a couple of you were pretty quick to rush to judgment. Jesus.
That's me turning it from vibrate to off. I fucked up, so that's now we're good.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I do think it's Mike Wazowski. I think like there's no reason Mike Wazowski has to strike while Michael Scott is awake. Boom, done. It doesn't matter. No matter how many locks you have on your doors, like, you know, and he's not gonna know to lock his closet every night. I mean, come on, it's Mike Wazowski.
Well, I guess he is. If he knows he's fighting Mike Wazowski, maybe he would. But still, Mike Wazowski is animated. You know, I think he could break out of a locked closet. He has that logic behind him that
he is a monster.
Exactly. Yeah. He follows monster logic, which can break through a closet easy, even if it's locked.
I think we're forgetting that. The other thing you have to take into account is that Billy Crystal does the voice of Mike Wazowski.
I hate him too.
Is a Nancy.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
In the canon, listen, in the canon of this podcast, that's a big deal. Ooh, I don't know. I might have to go Michael Scott. Yeah.
Here's my thing, and like I hate that I actually know this. It really is like annoying, and like this would be a good answer for anyone who actually is a fan of The Office. Michael Scott sleeps with a waffle iron by his bed, and so if Mike Wazowski walked in, he would step in that, much as Michael did in one episode of the show. And so Michael wins. He's got the upper hand, And
that would be a really funny scene they would put in this.
And society, entertainment and culture is going really well right now in 2020. So we might be seeing that sometime soon.
Eventually, we're just going to sell our podcast to a Tubi network and just collect on all the IP.
And this reminds me, could we please just take a single moment of silence for our fallen Quibi? And may Quibi be with you.
And also
Jake Demansky, do you have anything to follow through on with this mic check?
No.
No, okay. In that case, I have a thing for us. It's Halloween, and I went to a corn maze with my girlfriend the other night, and
Let it
I
bite
never.
a corn?
I did not. The corn was it was maze, really. It was a maze at that point.
oh, maze.
Too much maize. Yeah, not enough corn. We went to the corn maze. I'd never been to one at night, which was really cool. I mean, like, you get the flashlight and you have the map, and it's like really difficult to look at the map with the flashlight and walk forward at the same time. So you don't really get to use the map much. It's a lot of fun. But my girlfriend and I kind of got discussing in the middle of this maze, like how long we would survive in a horror movie, and just based on like who we are and like what attributes we think we would bring into like a generic horror movie type scenario. So I figured I wanted to ask you guys, if you were in a horror movie in a party of 5 and you're being chased through a corn maze, how long do you think you would last, and what do you think would keep you alive longer than your peers?
Well, I think for the sake of this, since you say it's with 5 people, why not it just be us 5? Like,
Well,
say
okay.
it's a horror movie with the 5 of us.
Because this could get unkind. This could
I was
get
gonna say,
real.
I don't want this to turn into like, well, I use you as bait and
I
I
will
run
kill
over
you.
For the rest of our time recording this podcast together, we're like eyeing each other up. Where it's like, now Rob would have good legs for the apocalypse. It would be good.
Wow,
to
I guess
have
I
him.
have such a pure heart because that is not where I was gonna go with it. But
Okay,
No, I was gonna
no
say,
offense to
like-
you, Zach, but it is like, okay, I overpower Zach, and then boom, I have a
No!
human shield that I can also use as bait to get away.
that's
Also,
fair.
I feel like
take
we
it.
might also want to avoid the whole thing. Like, we don't want it to be Christmas time and be like, what is what's a gift that you would hypothetically get for each other, and then have one of us be like, I would go back in time and not fucking have you murder me in the corn maze episode.
Wow. Okay. Well, spoiler for our Christmas episode. What we'll be doing. I think we try to be nice about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna be nice about it.
I'm sorry that I would overpower you, Zach. I'm sorry I said that to you.
No, it's true. It's probably the most realistic answer.
I'm just thinking about like getting tossed around between like Jacob and Rob in the apocalypse here. I'm like hating how this thing would kind of turn out for me.
Also, what kind of apocalypse are we talking? This horror movie. What kind of horror movie is it gonna
This
be?
is
Zombies?
That's my bad.
Also, this
I'm
is
bringing
not an
apocalypse into it.
apocalypse. This is just you're getting chased through a corn maze by
Is
a
this
killer.
just the Buttery
Okay,
Males
okay.
in the movie in the tall grass?
Ah,
Because
kind of, I guess. You know, if we want to go a
That's
step
very good.
further, no shortcuts. You have to follow the
Okay.
maze.
you can't just
100%.
go like blind fury tearing through all the corn
Yeah,
until
the
you
corn
get
is
to one
too
side.
thick.
Okay.
The corn's too
Is
thick.
that our one rule for this?
So the corn is
That's-
is a solid brick wall of corn.
Yeah, that's I think that's the one rule, is just the corn is too thick.
You have to face the maze head on. There's no cheating it.
The
Free.
maze in more ways than one.
Yeah, exactly. The maze.
Who wants to go first? I'll just kick it off if you want me to with a little bit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I don't want to start off by saying when I think I would die. I think I would do pretty well though. But the one thing I will say is, like, for a corn maze specifically, in this scenario, I'm like pretty good with navigation. I have a pretty good sense of direction. So as long as I can like keep ahead of the killer and I don't get lost in any like small tight circles within the maze, I mean, it shouldn't, be impossible to figure out like which direction leads out of the corn maze.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true. You have a map too, don't you?
So you have a map and a flashlight, but remember, with the map and it's nighttime.
Is it a
and
headlamp or a hand
No.
flashlight?
It's a hand flashlight. And so here's the thing about the map. If you're looking at the map with the flashlight, well, if you're looking at the map with the flashlight, you won't be able to see what's in front of you. The light will be like cast onto the map,
You
and
need
so
to use the light to use the map.
Exactly. And so you'll
I
have
gotcha.
to stop unless you are like stumbling around in the dark. You're just like, I'm just going to keep walking forward. But
You know, you're
I
on a
noticed,
straightaway, yeah.
yeah, like maybe in the right moment you could. But for the most part, if you're using the map, you're going to have to stop. And so that's what I'm saying about like this sense of direction and like figuring out which way you're going without needing that would be very useful.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I've never met a human that could damage me, so I would take my time and just kind of try and get through the maze. And if the killer came, I mean, you just handle him. You just handle him.
Just handle him.
Whatever that means.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
Whatever it takes.
I mean,
to
you don't
handle
want to
it.
know how I'm gonna handle it, but you'll see the mess and you'll see me, and I'll be totally the 3 C's. I'll be calm, cool, collect the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. I think my mind immediately went to juking out the killer. Like, Rob, where you're saying you wanted to be ahead of him, I want to be behind
You want to
him.
do
I wanna
basketball
hide.
rules.
Okay.
Yeah, I
wanna
want
juke him out.
to break his goddamn ankles, juke the shit out of him, and then
Dunk on him. Yeah.
That's the Michael Jordan route.
yeah. I did
Okay.
think I wanted to hide behind him though, get the killer in front of me, and then go the opposite direction. You know, juke him out, have him pass me. Don't hide, camouflage myself somehow, and then let him go by, and now I can go the opposite direction, knowing that he's in the maze going that way. You know what I mean? That's
not a
my
bad plan. I'm
my plan.
a big guy, and so I feel like I'm gonna be making so much noise that it's like I can't do any sneaky shit. I just have to try to get through the maze, you know?
Sure.
Rob, you're not a big guy. You're perfect, man.
We're all perfect.
I'm the big guy in this.
Big, stop.
Yeah.
We're all large personalities.
No.
Personally, for me, I mean, Zach, I kind of agree with what you're saying with get behind the guy, but you were kind of talking about like you're gonna break those ankles, you're gonna try to juke the dude. And for me, it's like it's the shark mentality. It's like if he's chasing after you, he's not chasing after me. I'm out of there. I'm not fucking going for the killer. What I'm doing is like the first second I can, I'm like diving into as like a bushel of corn and hiding right there.
Corn's
right
too
out
thick.
Of the gate.
Corn's
Yeah.
too
Street
thick.
style.
No. The corn's too thick.
You're there's
corn's
no
way too thick.
Along with like not being able to shortcut through.
Did we? I'm sorry. Did we say? I
We said
apologize.
this.
Was this
Yeah, that is literally
only
the
rule
one.
I was
the
retrieving
corn
my
is
AirPods
thick.
from my car so that I
No,
could
you're
not do
good.
this the wrong way. But
We're
I
not
was trying to
shaming
listen.
you, but we are telling you that the one rule is the corn is too thick.
And that's thick with 2 C's.
Now, this killer. Can we talk about the killer?
Yeah.
Like, what's the distance between his legs like? When he's running, what's the gap look like? Can I Neo slide under that?
So, okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Had a
I
good
might
thigh
steal
gap.
that for when I juke him.
So-
break his ankle.
What's that thigh gap like? Yes, exactly, Jake. Thank you.
He's probably like a True Detective season 1 archetype, like a
Yellow King or something, like a Carcosa.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's exactly what I'm
So those
thinking.
thighs are pretty thick. There's going to be less space to get
exactly.
into.
Like time is a flat circle.
He's not. I mean, he's not one of those guys that's holding it all up in the fupa and like with chicken legs or whatever. It's like he's thick down to his bones. I get that.
Yeah.
Damn. I gotta say, I just hold Zach. I grab onto Zach and I let the killer get Zach.
Idea.
And yeah. I mean,
were you also gone for the part where we were like?
no, I did hear him say you use him as a human shield. I did hear you use that terminology. I just totally didn't think that's what I was doing. Okay, I would trip Zach, and then when he's killing Zach, I would run in the other direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Securing your place in hell and me
Zach,
my place
not
in
at all,
heaven.
dude. Not at all personal. In zero way personal. Your legs being like not at all. I'm not even trying to be a dick. You're probably the shortest person here. Your legs are the smallest. They're gonna be the easiest to trip. It is just how it is.
But that's just kind of where you're wrong though, because I'm sturdier. I'm way shorter to the ground. A tall person's gonna be able to be
you're
kicked
like center
over.
of gravity. See, when I think of a tall person, I think about those legs to balance them out on, like a person walking on stilts.
Yeah, but if you break one of them, imagine standing on one stilt. You're not going to stay steady very long. I should have to kick one of your legs out.
Do we have weapons?
I have my feet and my.
No. I'm sorry. Do we have any weapons?
So,
like any,
I mean,
or are we allowed to fashion any weapons?
Can we rip one of these like sturdy as hell corn stalks out of the ground to fashion into a spear?
Yeah, definitely sharpen this corn. It's so thick.
Oh, it's too thick. Can't make a spear out of it.
Too thick to sharpen?
But if it's not the corn, could we fashion, like, is that against the rules of this? Is fashioning weaponry to defend ourselves?
So you can fashion weapons. So I'm thinking like cornfields, like, I mean, fashion weapons. You would be able to find like big rocks for sure to use as like striking weapons or to throw at someone.
Someone might have left a hoe out there.
Okay, boom.
Yeah, well, you might find
hold up.
some like
find a big rock. We're running. We're all running for a while. We all as a group come across the big rocks. I pick up a big rock, and then I bash Zach to death with it, and I sacrifice myself to the killer.
Oh my god!
So what's the point of any of that?
I mean, you die.
But you die.
I think, and I think
So,
the
like,
killer
third,
gets stronger.
like second,
is the thing.
second,
From
then
the blood
second.
sacrifice, you're only
My
making
answer
him
is second.
stronger to kill.
My
us.
answer is, well, yeah, no, I'm with that too. I mean, we all got a party up in heaven. But like, yeah, second.
Jeez.
My answer is I die second.
Brennan's making it
Brandon,
hard.
you're for
us.
sure going to hell for killing me. That's just your.
I'm
interested to see who will go to heaven and who would go into hell when we all
Only Jacob. Only Jacob.
Yeah, I feel.
I feel that.
I don't know. I'm a good guy.
Jake,
Yeah, you're all good
so many people.
We all have big
I'm
personalities, and we're all getting into heaven.
Oh hell yeah! That's
Great.
what we should. That should be our first
I don't want
T-shirt.
to.
It's all of our faces and that.
And just in like nice, beautiful, angelic
like
font, we're
angelic.
all getting into heaven.
Yeah, we all have big personalities. We're all getting into heaven in quotes, and it's our 5 pictures. That's the first Buttery Males shirt.
I do want to make those shirts. I do also want to I do also want to just say, like, I don't know how much more we have on this. The one thing I always get mad about, and I can't believe I didn't think of this from the beginning, is like I hate in movies when, like horror movies, when everyone splits up and tries to like go it alone. So the truly buttery answer for this big question
kill Zach.
well, we should all
Seems like.
I mean, rule of 4 is work, baby. I like it. Baby. I'm Zach.
Yeah, if we're going by Mean Guns logic, then 5 is better than 4.
Is
When
the
5
killer
is
chasing us because of something? Is the killer chasing us because of something, Zach? Why is the killer chasing us? Did some of us piss off? Were we rude at a gas station in town?
Sure. Yeah, that's what it was. That's
Who
fine.
was? Which one of us was rude? Were we all rude?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. who
Once
was
again,
rude.
no,
It doesn't
disagree.
matter. And honestly, a couple of us might have been rude by proxy, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. It's just
guilty by association. I see.
Exactly. The main thing I'm thinking is like the 4 of us.
I
and
tipped
Zach.
the gas station.
I'm sorry. I don't mean. To
I
say
slid
the
him a
4 of us
5, and I
Zach.
said, "I'm sorry about my friend."
The
And,
5 of us, get together, right? And then we hunker down and we like call out for the killer to find us, right? And we wait for him to come upon us, and then we kill Zach right in front of him, and we wipe his blood on our face, and we go, "Hey man, are you sure you really want this fucking smoke right now?"
Scare him off. Yeah.
You really? Really?
Smart.
This is what we do to our friends,
Yeah,
bro.
It's like the whole tactic about like if you want to scare away a grizzly bear, like make yourself bigger than the bear. Like if you want to scare away a serial killer, make yourself more crazy than the serial killer.
Just start smearing shit all over your face. Michael Myers be like, "All right, fuck off."
And like,
I'm not
here's the thing, like, you
Get
know,
outta here.
Zach, this is purely because you're the smallest of us, and you know what? We're gonna honor your memory because you're the one who's gonna get us out of this.
All right, all I've learned from this is I need to bulk the fuck up and get jacked, so I know for a fact that if it comes down to it in a corn maze.
No, I think Zach was fine. We just gave Zach a Napoleon complex accidentally.
Exactly.
Like, he was fine
you gave
until
me
today.
you gave me a villain. Like I feel like I'm a villain right now, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be
You
the
could
bad guy.
DeVito. You don't gotta be a Vito. You don't gotta be a villain. You could be a DeVito. You know.
I'm only gonna
What
get
I was gonna say
taller
is-
though.
Oh, yeah. How old? How old are you?
I'm 14.
Oh, yeah, for sure. My bad. I feel
Yeah,
terrible at all.
I'm still,
Everything
I'm
we
still
just said,
young.
we were saying about a minor, which is also like
Yeah,
rough.
so
Like we were like
it's
talking
a
about
little
killing a
fucked up that
child.
You guys are ready to kill a
I didn't
14-year-old
realize
just
that. That is my
like
bad.
that.
Rob, I thought you were about to say that the killer was
I
going
feel
to
like a child
walk.
sacrifice makes us, if we're going with the whole make ourselves crazier than the killer, that almost validates
It works
our
better.
tactics
For
more.
sure.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
sure.
it definitely
Yeah.
does. Yeah, for sure. It's more strong.
Now, hey, man. Now take us out of this fucking corn maze, okay? Get us the fuck out of this corn maze.
Sure. The corn
God,
isn't actually thick. That's made
Promise
up.
not
You
to
can
come
walk
back.
right through it.
I was lying to you. You can walk right through the corn.
The kills I set
isn't
out before.
thick. Just go.
Yeah, Rob, I thought you were gonna say that this killer stumbled upon us in the corn maze, recording an episode of our podcast, and he killed himself.
No. Okay. We'll do that next week. We'll take a week to think about that one, and
This will come back. Yeah.
Good stuff, everyone. Jake, you there, buddy? You just listening in?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
Jake loved that.
Alrighty, bud.
yeah,
He had to mute his mic because he was laughing so hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm
He was
getting I don't know about you guys. I'm getting pretty comfy right now.
Oh
I
man,
see what you're
I
trying
feel
to
like
do. I'm not
yeah,
gonna let this
yeah.
shit
I'm
happen.
putting my legs up,
Ah.
stretching out the old arm.
Are you Nintendo releasing a new hybrid console handheld, and you're just trying to switch topics or something?
I'm saying I just might be in my ideal comfort zone right now, you know?
That's cool. Can we just like move on to our next
Right, just
topic?
drop.
God damn it!
Yeah, what's the next
Of course, just trying to let you know I didn't like what you were doing. Yeah, that's all that was.
Well, I mean, we could also do we could do Brennan's topic about movies.
No. I fucking like saying. All right, I would like to talk about what gets us in our ideal comfort zones, what gets us vibing out and ready to like just relax for the night. You know. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, Rob, I'm sorry to have interrupted that. You just said, I'm watching the movie, and they said the title of the movie, and I freaked out a little bit, and I left the party. So
Yeah, no, it's
please,
good.
like,
And
yeah,
now,
yeah.
no, but now it's your.
It's my turn to talk
you're the
about what gets
talking
me
stick.
in
Yeah,
the
you gotta
ideal
take the
comfort
reins.
zone.
Yeah.
Alrighty. My ideal comfort zone is talking about feelings.
Very clean. Very clean.
I mean, truly, my ideal comfort zone has changed a little bit recently. I hate to say it, boys, but I truly think I'm having a harder time enjoying just getting high recently. And I think that might be a long time coming. Maybe that should have happened. I feel like that maybe has happened earlier for other people in my life. But you know what? After being unemployed since March and pretty much just smoking and being high or some sort of that every day, I getting a little bit of anxiety from it. And so
Just hitting that TNA every day.
First, yeah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, Rob. I will say, okay. So Rob is actually referencing something that is part of my ideal comfort zone. Thank you so much, Rob. I do love playing video games with my friends, and I love talking with. Really, what I like about playing video games is not even so much the playing video games; it's the social aspect of it. So I like being with my friends. I mean, not even in person necessarily. Most of the time, I actually prefer it's not in person, especially these days. But I like having like my little whole setup here, and just talking to my friends and hanging out and doing whatever. And then on top of that, one big thing that really fucking is just like I always look forward to it, especially with Rob, somebody I do it a lot with, is just syncing up a movie together or something like that over the distance and just watching it together and just figuring it out and everything like that. And
that was a new thing for me that you introduced to me.
Oh,
when we
sync
did
up
the Sandler
with someone
special.
else. Yeah, with the Sandler special. Yeah, when you and I watched that was like an entirely new thing to do with someone.
The Netflix app used to have a theater mode where you and your friends could watch a movie together, and your avatars would literally sit down in a theater together, and you could watch the movie from first
That's
person, and you could
really
like
cool.
turn to the left and right and see your friends' avatars, and
You
like
guys to
That's
send up
really
emojis
cool,
and stuff
okay.
like that.
it,
And that
it
didn't
was
last
like
that didn't last for all of the 360 either. They got rid of that pretty quickly, actually, I guess, in the relative run of that console. But it was great. I love that. I didn't mean to cut you off, Rob.
That
no,
sounds really fun.
I think the reason it didn't really last that long is like I think Netflix on Xbox 360 is mainly a place for like alone people to watch things. It is
Yes.
and so
Yeah.
like I had
Or if
some
you're with a date, like you're with someone
yeah,
right there
you
in
know,
the
it's like
room.
I think it just wasn't a very utilized feature. I think
And
like a lot of
I
kids
honestly
had
think
fun
between
with it.
bandwidths and buffering and everything like that, between all like the 4 maximum or so people that you could have watching it, I think that might have been a little bit more work on their end to I mean, Netflix, I think, has the money to have taken care of. I'm not trying to cut them any slack or anything like that. I just think, it might have been a little bit more difficult than the user base actually asked for. That might be a more niche
Yeah,
thing that we
exactly.
did actually experience for that time being. Not to say the thing we experienced on one of the 2 major fucking consoles and on the only streaming service at the time was niche to us. But
Well, but I think it's like we were in a group where it was like we were just always looking for multiplayer games to play with each other, and it's just this weird thing where it's like, well, Netflix is multiplayer in a weird way. It's like an online multiplayer game right now.
Yeah, and like I think weirdly enough, this is not at all how I would have ever recommended to somebody watching the movie for the first time, but I'm pretty sure I saw Full Metal Jacket for the first time through one of those Netflix watch parties. So anyway, this isn't even really meant to be a full stroll down the Netflix app for the Xbox 360
This is insane though.
for
It's
2
blowing
years
my
or
mind,
whatever.
actually.
It was really fun. But I think part of that is because of that. It harkens back to an era that really, like, was like childhood. I don't think it's dangerous in the way nostalgia is. I just think it's a comfort thing. So I love doing that. That always gets my mind off of whatever I'm doing for ever amount of time. Rob and I watched it by myself because I just love it. I'm impatient to watch with other people sometimes, but I watched An Evening with Tim Heidecker's YouTube stand-up special, and it made me laugh so hard and it blew my mind. And I wanted to watch it immediately. I wanted to watch it immediately as soon as possible again. And so I waited a couple hours until Rob was free to watch it. And we watched it, and I'll be damned if I didn't laugh harder because Rob was there. And, that goes to say with any comedy or anything like that, but that is one of those things that really helps me relax. And, maybe it's good for a wind down, but also I think I can put that in the middle of my day and my batteries are charged in a way. And then honestly, the only other thing I would say lately, just like, as far like, it might be very literal as like what puts me in my comfort zone or anything like that, but I've been, dipping my toe into the waters. Mine hunter zone. No, I've been dipping my toe into the waters of guided meditation, and I've really, really been enjoying it. And it's like really helped, help me prioritize things.
Those jack off instructionals on YouTube.
Yeah,
Joys,
JY,
yes.
yeah.
We call them Joys,
Joys.
for sure. We in the Joy community call them Joys, absolutely. And that's why, and that is why Anna de Armas's character in Blade Runner 2049 is named
It's called
Joy.
Joy.
Yeah, exactly.
So much for yeah.
But no, I really enjoy it, and it's not, it's something I think I found through therapy, but honestly, a couple really level-headed people in my life do it. And then I think one of the big things was, I'm not even joking, it was finishing Twin Peaks: The Return with Rob, something I've just started with my girlfriend. And at the end of that, just thinking, damn, David Lynch is into this kind of shit. He's actually into transcendental meditation, but it's like, if I'm dipping my toe in this world, it's like, if he can make this art or be this good at anything, and he's somebody that does that, as well as all these other people in my life that recommend it wholeheartedly, I got to give this a try. And it's been very beneficial to me. So that has been something where afterwards I'm in my ideal comfort zone, boys. That and a bag of goldfish. There we are.
That and a bag of goldfish.
Do you guys like whales more or goldfish?
Fish.
Really?
Whales.
Yeah.
Save the whales.
Whales.
All about those whales.
Yeah.
The whales.
Although-
Don't get me
they're wrong
wrong.
about your dating life.
Okay, all right. No, don't get me wrong. I like goldfish. But whales are just better,
sure?
and you're better for
Yeah.
liking them if you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
You're better
It
for
comes-
liking
It
them.
comes down to how good of a person you are. If you
The
like
gauntlet
whales
has been lobbed.
Truly, choosing between whales and goldfish sets like your moral compass, and depending
Although
on what
I've
you
heard
choose.
this, I think it's a rumor, but I think the powdery stuff on whales is MSG.
MSG.
Yes.
It's just
Jinx.
straight up MSG.
So
That
here's
is what I've heard. I don't know if that's true.
That's
but
probably
if I-
right.
That would.
and if I could also say this,
It
and this
sounds
doesn't
true.
even- yeah, I've also heard that exact same thing. I think from you. I think I've heard that within the past 6 months from you, actually.
Yeah, probably.
But I
He
will
doesn't
say
shut
this.
up about it.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
they do. The
fucking- I never
Japanese,
stop.
the Japanese hunt down these whales and they turn them into MSG, and then
I
they
don't
sell
like
them
this.
to China, and then
It's a
China uses
hugely
it to make
problematic
whales.
snack.
Cut.
Yep.
Cut. But yeah, there are good bags and bad bags of goldfish, folks, and it's all about salt.
Because sometimes they have
That's all
I-
the
yeah, I
whale
have had-
isn't
I
good
have made
enough.
that
The
point,
whale's
yeah.
too young, and so the MSG doesn't taste very good.
I'm done with this, sir.
It does go the same
Go
way
on.
with whales. You can get a bad box of whales, and you're like,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
the
trash.
conversation.
The
I've
next time
had.
you get it, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's so
They
strange.
need
And
the
you know what?
powder. You
Like
need
anything
that
in
powder.
life, your
I feel like
mindset going
goldfish
in
go
there has
stale
gotta be
too
50%
quickly.
of it, you know?
Goldfish do go stale too quickly. That is for sure true.
See,
yes.
that I just never know. I just
They
even
sell
a
them out of a
bag
fucking
goldfish,
paper
I
bag
finish,
in
like,
quarts
you
or
do.
whatever.
night I
Like,
open it.
Okay.
That's why I never get the cartons. And yeah, that's probably wasteful and not great for the environment. But like, it is like if I get a bad box of goldfish, now I'm stuck with a gallon. Now I'm stuck with a
I'm
gallon
stuck.
of shitty
That's
goldfish.
awesome.
Stuck with a gallon of goldfish.
I'm not stuck with a gallon of goldfish.
Anyway, all right. Zach, could I ask you, buddy, what is your ideal comfort zone? Or what gets you vibing out for the night? You know, we don't have to use the literal. Once again, I just said the name of the movie. In the movie, look at me. We're building some sort of
Hey.
social network here. Okay, but let's.
Oh, that's
could you-
another movie. You're stuck in the movies.
Stuck in a fire shot. Zach, what gets you in the zone just to relax for this?
Do they say we're making some kind of social network here?
No,
Yeah, they
that's
said
one of those
that.
things where it's like they just said
They look
Facebook
at
a
each
bunch in
other
the
and they're
movie,
like,
but it's
"We're
like,
making some kind of
I
social network here."
understand. It's like I don't respect that movie much, so that's not that far fetched for me.
I think it rocks. Weirdly.
I saw it once and I don't remember any of the details to it. So I mean, maybe
I
it
think there's
happened.
just very. I truly think there's very good performances in the movie, even though over time I truly like rolled my eyes so fucking hard at any Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
I don't
Sure.
like Justin Timberlake from that era personally.
I think he rocks, and when I see him in that movie, I'm like, this guy's a fucking movie star. Like I
Well-
really do enjoy him in that movie. So that's been the social corner.
Wonderful. As far as my ideal comfort zone, my vibe starts getting off of work. Usually, like, it's easier for me to vibe out and like relax and unwind after a hard day of work. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to unwind on a day off. Like the whole day, by the end of the night, you're tired or dreading work already. You're already anxious for the next day at work. You're like, okay, well,
You spent the
whatever,
whole
I'm
day
going to work the next
unwinding.
day. Exactly.
Exhausted
So
from the unwind. I get it.
exactly. I'm already unwound. I'm not wound up. You need to wind yourself up with a long day of work. So for me, a big part of an ideal like unwind, chill vibe thing is like a stressful, even if it's like a bad day at work, is almost better for that unwind because as soon as you get home, that is over. That phase is over. You now get to pour yourself a drink, which is what I usually do. I pour myself a neat bourbon and I relax in my cozy little armchair that I have in my room right next to my bed, watching TV until one of the boys gets online and it's like, okay, let's play some games. Like you said, like it's identical. Like it is more being the social aspect, being with your friends, talking, hanging out, doing something, having an active activity that doesn't require anybody to like like spend money, like other than, he's spending the hundreds of dollars on a console and the hundreds, like all the insane amounts of money on video games, but
Basically free.
it's basically free if you think about it like that.
It's like internet's free. Internet's free everywhere.
Electricity and internet and video games and TVs and all of that is completely free, and consoles are
Or
given to
Xbox
everyone
is
at
up at
birth.
a Waffle House.
But I mean, you don't have to. I've already spent the money on my PlayStation. I've already spent the money on those games. It doesn't seem like an expense to play games with my friends. It seems like just having an outing without having to go out. Where spending the money to go out to a bar and drink and have a great time, of course, is a lot of fun, but I will still have memorable nights, fun, like crazy fun, laughing to tears nights just on my PlayStation, sitting in this chair where I'm sitting now recording, just in my bedroom, eating a nice snack, having a good drink, a nice whiskey, a little bit of weed, and I am so relaxed. Everything's great, like, and then I hear one of my friends' voices, someone joins in a party or someone starts a party, and it's another, like, an uptick. It's like, oh great, it's getting fucking better, and like my nights just get better. It's a lot of fun. My relaxation is, again, hanging with my friends after a stressful day work, I guess would probably be sum it up.
Word up.
Heck
I
yeah.
guess I just do have a question for you real quick. I mean, like,
Yeah.
we all love to relax, but and I apologize I was listening there, but I apologize if you mentioned this, but like, if you can't, like, almost like, what's that car vibe for you? This isn't even something I asked anybody else, but like, what is that car vibe? What are you doing in the car that's getting you into that vibe on your way home from work? Are you jamming out to some music? Are you listening to a podcast? What's getting you in the mindset to just vibe there? Or are you just are you just mentally unwinding there?
For work, as far as for work, I ride my bike right now, and I'm only 2 miles away from work, basically from where I live. So I ride my bike, my motorcycle, back to and from my house on work. So it's a quick 5 minutes, if that. And I mean, driving home.
I mean, you're on a bike. You're on a motorcycle right there. I mean, like, what other vibe do you need, baby?
That's a vibe, baby. The ride home recently, maybe a week ago, was probably the spookiest ride of my life. It's still only 5 minutes, but it was such dense, thick fog that I was driving into that I was like, and then I'm next to cornfields. Like, as we were talking, I'm right driving by cornfields, and I wouldn't be surprised had I looked into my rearview mirrors and there were like pairs of eyes all over, in, like, zombies following me, just shambling after me. It felt like I was in Walking Dead, like I was in some fucking zombie shit, and I was like, oh, this is Days Gone. It was Days Gone. I was on a motorcycle driving away from what I assumed would be like, this is zombies.
That's great.
I'm being followed by zombies. It was so
I mean,
spooky.
not great, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
It was
Thank you very
spooky
much,
as hell.
Zach.
Totally.
Jake Demansky, buddy, you're the one actually suggested this topic, which I totally dig, for sure. Totally great, and I love it, actually, and it's actually really good too. But could you tell us, like, I mean, just like, if we're missing the mark here a little bit, let us know. But I think we're kind of hitting a little bit. What is your ideal comfort zone? Like, what gets you in the vibe, brother?
I mean, you guys butchered the segment I had plans. Like, this is not the route I wanted you
Why
guys to go at
didn't you
all.
stop us then?
Because I wanted to let you guys get played out. I wanted to see you get hung up and dried out.
And I do feel hoisted by my own petard in a way here.
To be
No.
fair,
My
I
own
did
petard,
pass
no.
it off right in the beginning for fear of something like this.
Right. No, you guys couldn't have done this, like, more wrong. Like, it's not about vibing out. It's about no, yeah, you guys are exactly right. Yeah, you're hitting it. Exactly right.
Well, now I don't know what to think.
I was
Jake,
just
I have to
kidding.
get tissues because I'm crying right now, man. Why did you do that to me?
Don't cry. Stop.
2020.
No, you guys are right. And, like, for what both of you guys said, the whole playing video games with your friends online, I'm usually doing it with, you two guys in general, as well as some of my other friends. It's definitely, that's part of my vibe right there. We have really similar kind of vibes, because normally I think we're vibing together. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess my ideal thing is either that, like, either after a long day of work, like it's, yeah, like you said, Zach, it's even more gratifying because you're like, I actually did something productive today. Now I have the time to relax and I've earned it.
Right.
And normally, yeah, I'll get some beer. I like Guinness, or Zach, you kind of turned me on to like actually giving whiskeys and bourbons a try. I know we've had some vibe sessions with our buddy Seth, who is also into whiskeys, and you guys have kind of like introduced me into the world of whiskey. It was something it was something I actually didn't like at all, and then kind of just like seeing you guys enjoy it and like kind of be connoisseurs with it, like tasting it and picking up on the notes and just talking about it while we're all chilling. I'm just like, yeah, let me get in on this. I want to see what this is all about. And I have gained a palate for it now, whereas before I didn't. And I used to just think like, ew, whiskey is gross. But now I love whiskey, and I love the different types that you've shown me.
You've had some
but yeah,
good
I'll
whiskeys,
usually
too. I'm definitely giving you some like really nice whiskeys.
Yeah, is Lafroig nice? I know we tried that.
Lafroig is a really good scotch. It's a really heavy peated Islay scotch. That's like any Islay scotch is one of the scotches have different regions of where the scotch comes from, and in Scotland, being a small country, it's insane how different the 5 or 6 whatever different regions of that country's whiskeys are so different from each other. And like Scotch is known so iconically, like, oh yeah, he's drinking Scotch. That's a classy, like, Scotch is so known, it's so established as like a whiskey, and yet there's still 5 distinct varieties, all from Scotland, all from Scotland, and it's a small fucking country. Like it's incredible that these 5 different distinct kinds of whiskey can come from one country. And Lafroig is an Islay Scotch that has a really, really heavy, heated, smoky, like a campfire. Like you're drinking a campfire ashes, and
it actually does totally
sounds
feel like
really,
that.
really good.
A very famous one, Lagavulin, that's known from Parks and Rec's Ron Swanson's famous Lagavulin. That is I want to say a better version of Lafroig. It's different, but it's an Islay Scotch. Lafroig is an expensive one that I've had. That.
So once again, I'm sorry. It's pronounced La Croix, and it's a seltzer.
It is a seltzer. It has flavor, yeah.
Yeah, but you guys kind of got me into that, so it's been like if I'm vibing out, if I'm trying to relax, I would like, some alcohol, like like you said, like a neat glass of whiskey, or I'll get my beer, and I'll chill with the boys and play some video games online and smoke some pot and just vibe out. But if you guys aren't online, I actually like this just as much. Just either the same exact thing, but just like listening to a podcast while I, play video games, or I'll just like, I'm into anime and manga, so I'll read a manga, like, and just like really get into it, like if I'm high, especially. And yeah, it's just, oh man, totally relaxes me. And yeah, it's just like a safe, comfy zone, especially like, during COVID right now. I think everyone, well, I can't speak for everyone, but me personally, I am still very, I'm trying not to go out there. The bars are open by me. I'm not going to the bars. Like the restaurants are open.
You're not going out, Jay?
I'm picking up food.
Jay,
no, I'm
you're not going out.
Stop it.
I'm not going out
twice.
Why
At a
not?
restaurant. I've gone out twice.
No, I've literally I've been to 3 restaurants in the last 9 months.
Anytime that I've never been to I have not. I mean, aside I've gotten takeout and I've ordered takeout. I haven't been in a restaurant, eating in a restaurant.
In a restaurant, it's hard for me to avoid restaurants when I work in one.
I understand. We're not, and I'm not shaming you for that.
No, I know. Yeah, it's just like I've actually personally chosen to go out twice.
And I don't mean to make
once was at a funeral, so it was like not really a choice, but
for sure. I don't think this is I don't want this to, if this is in any way problematic, please let me know. But I feel bad for my girlfriend because she's not like a video gamer or anything like that, which is not why I feel bad.
No
for her.
gamer GF. Why live?
I wish she enjoyed it and could see certain things for the art they are. But more so, like, I think if she understood, not that she doesn't understand, she actually does understand. I just think she and her friends would actually benefit and feel less alone sometimes if they had this kind of experience, this kind of communal experience. And there's plenty of like female gamers that like have this and everything like that. I just feel like there is still sort of a, not necessarily a stigma, but like I do think like statistically, I feel like there's a lot more maybe male gamers. Maybe I'm talking out my butt here, but like I just truly think that like I feel in a way I do like feel bad for my girlfriend who is like dying to go out with her friends all the time and everything like that. And like it's one of those things where not that I do not, especially with you boys, my Buttery Males here. Like, I want to see you guys in person, but honestly, it's made a lot easier by recording this podcast, meaning to talk to you every week. But on the day to day, yeah, like being able to, be online with each other and talk to each other, in all these ways. It's all about communication. I wish just more people had access to easier ways to passively do that. I guess we all have a cell phone where we can turn that on.
Brennan, what are you playing right now?
I'm playing Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. I was like, you're really tapping a button a lot, and I was like, what game could that be?
He's sprinting.
Yeah, he's sprinting in Grand Theft
7
Auto.
stars.
Okay,
I don't know how
that
I got
makes
7
sense.
stars, guys, but it happens.
Brennan,
well, I want to say, well,
that's all unusable then. And
can I chime in?
For that reason. Yes, I do.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Zach. I just wanted to chime in.
No, you're good.
No, Brennan, not you, Brennan. Brennan.
All right.
I'm not worried about interrupting
just
you.
Move,
okay.
Let's move on. Let's just.
No, I do want to say, like, on the video game thing, which, spoiler alert, I might be bringing up in my own comfort zone. Not to take too much of Jake's comfort zone. But like I would play with you guys all the time in middle school and high school, and my mom always likened it to like when she was in high school. The advent of like home telephones meant that like my mom had a telephone in her room in her like junior and senior year of high school. So my mom very like stereotypically like out of like Greece or something like would just be on the phone with her friends like all the time.
That's
and
insane.
So she was just like, when we had it, like we would be like doing other stuff, whatever we could do within reach of the phone. You guys just have games that you play now. And I think the games aspect of it adds a level of like
communal activity,
But I know that like Brennan and I a bunch throughout this pandemic, we've just been talking on the phone with each other for like 2 hours sometimes, just doing stuff around the house, like not really
being in someone's company without them being there.
Yeah.
It's great, and especially like
it's kind of how gross that like is nice. It's so I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah,
especially now,
looking at
especially nowadays. And Zach also brings up such a good point, which is like just going out and spending money at a bar is like I don't know how people do it all the time. Like not even just not even in terms of just income. It's just like I would feel badly at a certain point if like month after month I was like, I just every weekend I hit like 4 different bars and I spend a shitload of money, and I don't know.
Well,
I would much rather.
Like,
I think
who
it's
am I as a person?
I think a part of it is like, I guess I can't speak for all of us, but I truly would love to believe this. We're all not bad tippers. Like we all know what it is to leave a like proper tip and everything like that.
Yeah, that is.
That's one of the things that always fucks me up is like I can't drink as much as I want because I don't want to be a piece of shit. So
I'm never gonna tip unless you really deserve it. I'm never gonna tip less than 15%. And really deserve it means like you called me like an offensive name. Otherwise, like, Jake, you were talking about unwinding, playing video games with the boys.
That's it. That's all I do.
Do you wear any special like pajamas while you play?
You might catch me in some PJs.
Yeah, what's on those PJs? Spider-Man?
Nope.
Batman.
You're gonna get a little checkered pattern maybe.
Yeah, first. I was just
Better
gonna
plan
say,
on-
bro, I've got my
little
black and red checkered pattern PJs.
little Walmart checkered pattern.
Yes, sir. The George's brand or whatever it is. Let me check. I got them right here.
Who's up next?
I'll go.
They're
I
fruit of
think
the
we got.
loom. They're
I
red,
think
black, and
Jacob
white. They're fruit of the
Boyer
loom
will.
checkered ones.
Jacob Boyer will be rounding it out then.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow. I did want to just say, like, comfort is a thing that sometimes can be like very foreign to me, just because I've been in my house for so long that like I am at war with everything in my house. There's no like reprieve from it. And so recently I've been thinking, ideally, for me to be comfortable, somebody else is paying the bills, first off. So I don't have to go to work. And that means I'm probably moving back home with mom if I want that. Yeah, which would afford me a lot of freedom because my girlfriend would leave me. But I think
I'm
that
not gonna
for
give
me,
that a hell yeah. That's a little. That makes me feel bad for doing it earlier.
Yeah, fucking kick that to the
I'm sorry.
curb. No, I love my girlfriend, truly.
Of course. Yeah,
but
I didn't mean. Oh.
no, well, you see, now you're being offensive, and I'd love it if you could.
Oh no. Oh no.
But yeah, right now, like, comfort for me is like Xbox on, probably like editing something on my computer, which is like this fun thing I do where I'm like half playing a video game, half working. So I'm not really getting either of them done at a steady pace.
Right.
And like simultaneous to that, I have been getting really deep into YouTube. Because like,
Hell yeah.
if you're tired of the bullshit that like gets on Netflix and Hulu, pay for that fucking YouTube subscription, man. Because YouTube is
No,
like,
you're not
If
doing
for
this right now,
nothing
are you?
else,
I'm
if
doing it. It's expensive for a subscription. But one thing I've got to say that I really appreciate about YouTube more than any other platform that you can watch shit on right now is that like you're still able to find actual creators. Because like
That's
I
true. True.
steer clear of the like YouTube most popular and trending stuff because I don't watch like don't worry, I'm not watching like Logan Paul's fucking daily vlogs or anything. Like I'm not, that's not what I'm paying literally so I don't have to watch their ads because there's fucking like they're really cranking up the ads. You'll have 2 ads at the beginning. One is like 10 seconds. The other is usually 30 seconds, but you can skip it. And then it's like ads in the middle of the video. And now with the advent of autoplay, between this video and the next video, there are also ads. If your fucking app or web browser fucks up, you might be facing like 2 sets of ads. And so I don't mind paying for it. And I've found a lot of creators that I like that make really cool shit. So a big part of what I do now is just like digging through, like I love looking up something I'm interested in and hitting like the most recent tab. Because with the most recent tab, you got like months potentially of like lunatics and psychos posting about flat Earth. And it's just all there for you.
Hell yeah.
So like yeah, I spend a lot of time getting deep on like YouTube rabbit holes. That makes me feel really comfortable. Especially because like all of you are on fucking PlayStation and I'm
Get
like
on PlayStation.
I stayed for Halo, okay? And granted, I shouldn't have stayed for 4 and 5. But you know what? I'm going to pony up and get the new Xbox, and Halo 6, Halo Infinite is going to be good, okay?
When, in 2022?
So Halo Infinite, could you explain that to me in any way? Is it a 6th game, or is it that thing where it's like all of the games together without?
No,
like,
It's a 6th game.
They're not.
It's
They're
the
not
they're doing
repackaging
it's a sequel trilogy like Star
They're
Wars.
finishing this current trilogy. It's like
Along-
Cortana.
this current bad trilogy.
So
this current bad,
Cortana
like on
is-
par with the sequel trilogy
Well,
of
True.
Star
I mean,
Wars
actually,
in terms
yeah,
of
you're
bad.
right, actually. You're absolutely right.
There's
Not
a
actually,
gameplay trailer out. There's a gameplay trailer out, and it doesn't look good. And I'm not actually like this is more me venting about like I don't have anyone I play Xbox with because all my friends on Xbox are like Xbox friends from games like Destiny or fucking Fallout, and it's like I just don't play those games anymore, you know? So I pretty much play like solo games and stuff. I don't really.
Rob, you played Fallout 76. Is that correct? Is that what I came
Yeah.
into this Discord hearing?
Yeah, I played a lot of that game.
See, that's crazy. What drew you to it after hearing countless
He actually
conversations
paid for it.
surrounding it?
Well,
on Black Friday, he actually bought it.
Yeah, so
But
here's
on
the
Black Friday,
thing.
what was it, $5?
No, I bought it literally like a month after it was released.
So you got scammed the hardest.
Well, I think so. Here's the thing.
No, I mean, if you had fun with it, you got your value out of it, and there's
Well,
nothing to value otherwise.
my girlfriend is the one who wanted to get it, right?
Okay.
It came out because obviously there was like a sneak release by Bethesda. They had that massive E3, and then they decided to release it like a month early, and they dropped all the trailers, right?
This game has been nothing but fucked up, like from the release.
And
Like,
so
yeah, exactly.
I told Jazz, I was like, listen, you don't want this fucking game. I was like, this game is not what you think it is. It is not Fallout. I was like, you cannot do a multiplayer Fallout because Fallout inherently is it's exclusive to single player. You just can't. And to that end, it's like you could maybe do a co-op game because there are other solo RPG games with multiplayer co-op, but it's like the idea of an 18-person. So I was like, this
there goes
fucking
VATS
sucks.
though. You're not gonna do VATS in a multiplayer online setting.
Yeah, and
you
so
can't do that. You can't slow down someone else's everything at once. Like there goes
the
VATS.
game, and the game
defining
sucks.
feature in Fallout.
The game sucks, and it still sucks, even though they've done a lot of work on it. And I just want to say before this is all ending this is how I'm going to wrap up my comfort zone. I played 1,000 hours on the game, and the way it played out was that the day we brought it home from the fucking GameStop, unassumingly brought it home, Jazz loaded it up. And I was like letting her play. She didn't have her own Xbox at the time, so she was playing on mine. I was just hanging out. I think playing RuneScape at the time, actually. And she like kept handing me the controller because like she's pretty good at games now, but like 2 years ago she wasn't as good. And I kept playing different parts for her, and she was like, "It's too hard. It's too buggy. I don't like it. Like I want to return it." And then that night, when she went to bed, I like shamefully logged in and like started a character, and I played it all night, and she woke up the next morning with me still playing it, like glassy eyed, staring at the screen.
Far past her character.
I'm almost level 400. I've done it all legitly. I haven't done any XP glitches on my main character. I have another character that I boosted with some XP glitches, but I've done.
Is he further than your main?
No. He's like a level 250.
That's insane.
Even with my amount of time played, I haven't gotten that many. I have a bunch of god roll weapons, but not nearly as much as some other people who spend a lot of time hunting for them. But there's like an issue with this game of like the grind and the farming, but also the economy is so fucked because you're only allowed to hold 30,000 caps. And right now, most god roll guns are valued. There's no banks. There's a stash.
Your max wallet totals 30,000.
And you can have 4 characters, which means you can have 120K.
120.
But here's the thing.
Jesus.
Most God roll guns in this game are valued at 500,000 caps plus.
That's
so
insane.
So you ask yourself, well, how does the economy work? And the answer, it doesn't. People don't actually trade. Like, no one actually trades these guns. And the only reason people like me get them is because instead of wasting my time trying to trade these guns when you just can't do it and no one will trade them to you, you just find them. Well, you grind them, or you find like chill bros on Discord and you make friends with them. And it's like, when a duplication glitch comes around, you just make sure you're hanging out with them that day and they're going to show you some fucking love. I mean, that's how I ended up getting all of the best gear I had. And like, I've God roll stuff from the beginning of the game because I've literally played since like, day 30.
But those are all legitimately earned, right?
It's all legitimately earned. And so it's like, I've given up on the game now. I had to get away from it. But, it was pretty comfortable while I was playing it.
I hate to take it back, and I also hate to just like dominate this podcast right now, but Brennan, you also mentioned your girlfriend not being a gamer. Has she ever tried the Sims franchise?
She's played some Animal Crossing. She's never actually done Sims. But, like, not the newer Animal Crossings, like the I think probably whatever was the one
like Game Boy.
Yeah, Game Boy. Yeah.
There was no Game Boy Animal Crossing. There was a DS. There was a GameCube.
Oh, it was DS.
It was GameCube originally. Then DS was Wild World.
Yeah, she had a DS.
Wait, is it it's called a Nintendo DS, right? Is it a
Nintendo is the brand?
Right. Okay, it's not a
Nintendo
DS. Okay, no, you're right. It's not.
Let's talk over each other just a little bit
wrong.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Sorry.
So
I absolve you. You were fully forgiven.
Jacob,
but she
comfortable.
Did have Jacob, your comfort zone.
Yeah, I just continuing on this video game trend. I lately, mainly in the past week or so, we mentioned it a few times, but one of my favorite games ever is Deep Rock Galactic, and they just released this new update, adding 2 new game modes that have been like insanely fun. Like anytime I talk about like people talk about, oh man, I really like this video game, but like the devs never updated, or when they do, it's like I don't understand why they added certain stuff to the game. Like Deep Rock Galactic's dev team is like so like transparent and open about like, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, these are the complaints we've gotten. We acknowledge that like we're a small team and we could be doing better, so we're really listening to you. And they just knocked it out of the park with this recent update. It was.
Are you talking about? You're talking about the update with deep dives?
No. That was a while ago. They just added. I think it's called the Roughnecks update. They added 2 new like different types of missions you can do. So basically.
When did this come out? I'm sorry, because I was just
in the past week or so.
Oh, okay, because I was playing like a week and a half ago pretty hard for like 3 days. I messaged you about it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna jump back in.
Yeah, so for anyone like who hasn't played before, it's like, again, it's base thing is like it's a co-op 4-player game where you're a bunch of dwarves, you get dropped into a cave and you have to complete a mission, and there's bugs that are trying to kill you, and then once you complete it, you have to escape the cave within a time limit. And
yes, like Minecraft Star Troopers was a very Dead,
Left 4 Dead aspect, like with the whole zombie swarm, just alien bugs instead, basically.
Well, yeah, like Starship Troopers. That might be why they're calling it Roughnecks, because of what's
Ratchet
whatever the
and a killer
side from the movie.
And a killer soundtrack too, Rob. I think you can.
Oh yeah.
Too. I love it so much.
There's some moments when you're like alone in a part of the cave and you're low on ammunition, you're a little low on health, and all of a sudden a real deep dark synth starts playing in your ear, and it's like, oh god,
yeah,
they're coming.
Yeah, no, it's but yeah, no, it's so some of the missions that like up until now, I mean, it's still like the basic idea is like you go in, you retrieve something, you complete X, Y, and Z, and then
Capitalism,
you get out.
baby. It's all about that gold.
Yeah. So like the main like the main things that like they would have you do is like go in and collect 6 of these alien eggs, or collect 200 pounds of this element, or
Or go kill these like
go
3 giant ass
yeah.
aliens.
Or like the previous mission failed and your miners are all dead. You have to go in and salvage their equipment and not get killed in the process. But like they just added these 2 new things where the one I forget what the modes are called, but one is like you have to defend this like giant like 2-story bulldozer as it like plows through the cave to like reach the core of this planet to extract this like molten like giant element or whatever. There's one where it like drops you in and there's like a rig that you have to like set up and like connect pipelines to these different like liquid deposits, and yeah.
Damn, I can't
so
believe
much fun.
I just missed this update, I guess.
Yeah,
and now I'm like, let's finish this fucking podcast so I can go play.
It's like I'm telling you, like the as soon as like the bulldozer one I could do without, but like there's something like so satisfying about like dropping like a pump down on top of like this deposit and then like snaking these like pipes through like these holes that you have to create and connect. It's just,
Well,
it's just
and
so
it's
satisfying.
a cool sandbox creation game. Not to like continue to hijack time from people, but we've talked about like the driller specifically in episode 1, and like I've been really getting into the engineer recently.
Mhm.
There's a lot of creativity.
He's definitely my
to
most
it,
played class, yeah.
where it's like building pathways around these very complex mines, and like the deeper you go, I just want to, for anyone who might get into the game, after a couple hours of gameplay, getting through the kind of early medium, like you ramp up to like crazy complexity really quickly, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it gives you the tools to be very creative in these spaces, to the point where sometimes I'm like having so much fun in a level and my team is like finishing up and I'm like, no, like I just built all these walkways,
Yeah.
or I just built tunnels for everyone to get around easily. Like,
but yeah, no, I highly recommend anyone go buy that game. It's like $15 on Steam if you're a PC. I don't know
and
how
it
much
goes
it is
to a
on
legit,
console.
it's 15 on console. It goes to
Okay.
a legit indie studio too. It's not just
Exactly.
going to
Yeah.
like some fucking big EA subsidiary.
AAA bullshit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of video
Coffee
games.
Stain, I think, is the studio.
Yeah, Coffee Stain and Go Ship, I think, are the 2. Yeah. But yeah, no, other than that, I've been like, that's just the past week or so. Lately, I've been but I don't know. I'll just come home from work. I'll put on some like nice, chill, kind of like lo-fi music. I'll make my dinner, and then just kind of, I don't know, just fall into a movie or a comedy special or just something kind of mindless that like I where I don't have to like. I spend a lot of my day like kind of telling other people what to do in terms of like the shows and stuff that I work on. So it's like that whole thing, not that I am comparing myself at all, but like Trey Parker had that thing on the South Park documentary where he talked about a very therapeutic thing for him was building like Lego sets and all that, because it's something else telling you what to do instead of you having to stress about telling other people what to do. So I know that is a pretty good portion of my job, is like making decisions that I don't know that I'm like fully equipped to be making. And so it's nice to like go home and like not have any, like not have to like, interact
good.
with
This Swedish company has laid it all out for me. I
exactly.
Don't have to question it. I'm
Exactly.
never gonna have to be like, they might have been wrong about putting this brick right here.
Yeah. But no, that's I just give me some good music, some nice comfort food, or video games, and I'm pretty much set.
What's your comfort food, brother?
I don't know, like pasta, ramen, anything quick, simple to make.
Gotcha.
Comfort food, like it's not uncomfortable to make it, right?
Well, not that it. No, I mean, like, yeah, no, it's not uncomfortable to make it. I definitely feel uncomfortable after I eat it, for sure. Anything along those guidelines, fits in there.
Those Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits I made for an episode
that was one of the ultimate comfort foods I've
Dude,
had in a long
I
time.
made-
Those
I made-
biscuits are comfort foods. Hell yeah!
I made Cheddar Bay biscuits recently. I tried really hard to try to emulate what you taught me, and they were better. They were definitely better.
That's good to hear.
I think that's another reason why you were very quick to kill Zach, is because you don't need that recipe from him anymore.
Yeah,
He served his purpose.
Now that I'm like near perfection, I'm like, well, there can't be two of us.
One of us has to be the one to know how to make biscuits. It's gonna be me.
Yeah. Say just because Jacob brought up Legos, just as a funny aside, you guys know who Dan Bilzerian is, right?
The
Instagram
king.
So he's Jacob. Real quick, he's this
fake, right?
asshole. He's this fake asshole who claims to have won like $80 million in poker, but really what happened was his father was a corporate criminal who made $400 million in 1 year and made trust funds for his kids that the government couldn't touch. So the year that he inherited his trust fund, he like just told a bunch of people, "Oh yeah, I won 50 million off this one guy one night, and then I won like 30 million the other night." And he had a company go public on the Canadian Stock Exchange that was apparently run by his father, who is not allowed to legally own a business in America.
Jesus Christ.
And so he's like going bankrupt right now. He's like been charging all of these expenses. Like literally last year, he charged $40 million to a corporate credit card. And that includes like, and this is the kicker, that includes like 400 grand a month on this massive mansion that he lied and told people that he had bought for $60 million. It goes for paying.
Wait, how much was it?
It was like, I think it was like 400 grand a month.
Oh, so he rented it out.
Yeah,
he claimed that he bought it. Okay.
He claimed that he bought it because he just got evicted because he stopped paying it. Because I did
hear that he was recently exposed as a big fucking fake.
His company's going bankrupt, so his fucking Amex Black Card got canceled, and so he literally can't pay for this shit anymore. Because like he might still have $50 million to himself in this trust, but he doesn't want to spend that. Like that's the thing. He's not actually.
He owns.
He would literally like if he spent $30 million last year, he would literally run out of his fortune in 2 years. Less than 2 years.
That's $10 million a year. That's insane that a human would spend that much money.
Yes, and also like paying female models to just hang out with him.
Right.
Literally, like he would like weekly spend like 300 grand to pay models hourly just to hang out, and so he could post on Instagram pictures with all these models, and the implication being, I'm fucking all of these models, but the reality being, all of these models are hanging out at my house on their phones, shitting in my bathroom until I want to take another picture. Like,
he's a good-looking dude, so he probably is like having sex with some of these women.
A bunch of them have claimed that he's like a creep and will try to fuck them, and the most of them will not.
Of course,
like
that's paying them millions of dollars.
But
I mean, you're a creep if you're paying women to come over.
Well, yeah, you're a creep if you're paying women to hang out.
And I want to get it out there. We're not saying you're a creep if you are paying sex workers or anything like that. It is like when you pay somebody an amount of money that is not previously disclosed what's going on, and then you expect that of that person because of that money. And also, if you just need to pay people to be fucking friends with you, you're a fucking creep.
Dan Bilzerian spent $70,000 on a Lego set, and I cannot figure out what fucking Lego set.
Oh my god. It better be like a life-size Star Destroyer.
It can't be one set. There's no one legit Lego set all in one.
Look, and I can't find it.
It has to be an eBay purchase where it's like a fucking collector
Buy
set. Like
get every set.
Yeah, like there's no way, or even if it's just one really old rare set, there's not a lot that are in package with, like fully sealed in package with all the instructions, every
I
piece.
know, but rich people have
That's
access to different.
70 million.
But rich people have access to different catalogs than we do. I mean
That's
that
fair,
literally.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. He's
know.
getting the catalog for the all Lego Lamborghini Murcielago
well,
1-to-1.
no, but it's like I fucking one time in New York when I was like 11, my mom brought me to FAO Schwartz, which FAO Schwartz in
Drip.
Manhattan
Straight
was
drip.
this
The movie from Big.
massive-
The store from Big.
movie from Big. When I was there,
You also
like,
said the wrong thing I said. Movie from Big. Yeah, movie from Big.
Yeah,
FYI.
with the keyboard, with
The
the
movie
piano
from Big.
scene.
Well,
The
so
piano
when I
scene,
was
piano
there,
floor
they
mat.
had a night, like a dungeon castle set that was $3,000, and it was literally like a 10 by 10, like 10 foot by 10 foot, like you set up like entire castles, like it was a massive play set for like rich kids in New York, right? So, but aside from that,
Crazy.
there was a bunch of stuff that was crazy prices, but the store had a VR pod. It was a pod that could fit 6 people in it. Imagine
What?
imagine a theme park, like a roller coaster, like you're in like a roller coaster car, and it's like got 3 seats and it's 2 rows, okay? But
So something
imagine
that, like, a smaller amusement park would buy and you sell tickets to as an attraction. It's like a 4D roller
exactly.
coaster.
So imagine there's a
What?
dome. There's a dome that is over that. There's like a dome and a door that closes, and it looks like the fucking it looks like a SpaceX shuttle when they're closing the hatch. Like they close the hatch.
You're in an amusement park ride.
Yeah, and
Like,
so
yeah.
this thing is up on this giant like hydraulic lift, so it shifts all around, and it's like we did a like space rocket takeoff one because it's like you could literally, they were like showing it to people. It's like they would just run it and let people, like, it was because it's a $30,000 fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
It's $30,000. And so we tested it out, and I'm like enamored. I'm like, I really wish I had this instead of a pool table, right? And they had sold 4 of them that year for Christmas.
I thought you were gonna say that day. I was
no.
about to be ready to be so fucking blown away.
I mean, that would have been wild. But it's like, how do you even have 4 of these in stock? Like, isn't this like you just
you get a trust fund from your dad? That's how you buy one of those. But to bring it back, are you saying that Dan Bilzerian actually has to play poker now to get his money back?
He's
actually gonna have to play poker here. No,
and are we writing this movie about Dan Bilzerian being exposed and then having to learn how to do poker the right way?
Oh, Joe Rogan and giving him pep talks on how to like count cards and shit like that.
It's 21 with Joe Rogan.
Rogan is spacey. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think fucking Joey Diaz is definitely in it.
Joey Coco
Diaz. He's the Lawrence Fishburne character.
Yes, yeah.
He's the guy that runs the casino who beats you up.
He's the opposition way.
Yeah, he like beats you up if you know, like you. Hey, I see you've been counting cards.
You lent me 21, the DVD in middle school, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
I believe I did. I loved that.
You did.
I definitely owned it on DVD.
You left it in my locker, and it was sick. And I was like, I've never had that experience where like someone
left
put
it in his locker.
I don't know. Was I trying to fuck you? Like I must have been. Like,
it worked.
Did you give me your combo? Or did you just do that thing where you preset your locker?
Brennan's move.
Yeah. You preset your locker.
In the locker.
Do you guys remember that move? You'd preset your locker
so you
just walk over and just slide it up. But well, for you, but also if you needed like to not give your combo to somebody, you would just preset that shit, and so they would just walk over and it would be slided up. I was one of these kids when I was in the bathroom. They were going to the bathroom to the halls. I was just pissing all over the halls. When I was out in the halls on my way to the bathroom or on my way back from the bathroom, I would just pull the fucking slides on those lockers, and like guaranteed every fucking period there'd be like 5 lockers that opened up, and I would never steal anything, but it did kind of blow my mind like
you
how obvious that shit was. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I can steal your fucking homework, nerd. Like, what are you gonna get?
Well,
Who
I mean,
keeps
yeah,
their
you're.
belongings there in middle school? I feel like as a kid, you always keep your shit on you.
I guess it's one of those things where it's like if you were just dealing drugs in high school, you just did not preset your locker, even though the school knew your combo.
That's how
or
you
just
tell,
Even though
don't
the school knew your
don't
combo.
put drugs in your locker.
That was one of those
Yeah,
weird things where it's like
that's
if
a
you
fact.
got your own lock for the locker, did you not still have to
Right,
tell
that's
the
not
school your
registered with the
combo?
school. Right.
I don't think
yep.
you were allowed. Were you allowed to?
No, yeah,
No, you
they,
were
like,
allowed to, but you
made
had to
you,
tell them your combo, right?
you had to tell them your combo, but also there were stories of officers using just bolt cutters to like
Well,
say,
yeah.
Yeah, well, I
'cause
mean,
I
of
was
course,
gonna
they're not going to
say-
fuck around in
can,
the
I was
I
end.
know
gonna
there's
say
weed
you-
in here. Like, yeah.
I was
That
gonna
was
say
a
you
scare
could just
thing, but-
you could just buy a lock on day one and be like, hey, this is my lock combination, and then day two you
Right.
just bring a different lock.
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
but bolt cutters still
they'll
doesn't
just
matter.
exactly. They
Yeah.
will just take it off.
Yeah, like you're still fucked. Don't
Yeah.
don't try it. Don't put weed in your lockers. A dog will know. Like you will not get away with it. You're dumb shit for trying. You're in high
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
You're not smart.
For sure. No, I mean, you think you're definitely
Or
smart,
middle
and
school.
the truth is you're high, is what it is.
Yeah,
You're not. You're actually not
exactly.
smart. You're just like really high
Yeah,
in English
You're
class
just
right now,
high. Yeah,
and you're
you're
reading
Oh.
Great Gatsby, and you're like, I am Gatsby and
Yeah.
Fitzgerald. It's me.
You're a minor that's high. Like stop it.
You haven't read Fear and Loathing. You've just vaguely heard of Hunter Thompson, and you're like, I'm brilliant. Like,
I've
You
seen
think
the
that's the
Johnny
coolest
Depp
shit.
And
movie.
guess what?
I fucking know
I've
what
smoked
this is
weed
about.
before, and I tricked my mom into getting me an Adderall prescription. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, I
that's
have
what high
a
school
Master
Hunter S.
finesse.
Thompson photo as my lock screen. Okay, so you can
well,
fucking
Rob,
get
speak
fucked.
for yourself. I had season 5 Breaking Bad, Heisenberg sitting on a lawn chair with cash around him, with a thing that said, "All hail the
Wow.
king."
Right.
Yeah,
So even
yeah.
worse.
No, you opened it
So
up and
even
you
worse.
knew. You were
Yeah,
like,
way
damn,
worse.
this guy has way too many opinions on shit he probably doesn't care that much about. You know, it's just like I was insufferable.
I
feel
want to
like
say
have the
one
right
time.
opinion. Like
'Cause
admire
I
the
never-
right heroes.
Hmm?
Admire the right heroes. If you're gonna be in the
Yes.
drug game,
Oh,
the drug
well,
The
game.
Kevin
White.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Walter
exactly.
White's a
Kevin
good.
Spacey
Yeah.
is my hero. The movie. 21.
Yeah.
One time, allegedly and impairedly, I was joshing about, and
Impairedly. You were
I
impaired. You were
accidentally-
allegedly
I
impaired.
accidentally,
This is a great
night
episode.
before
I just gotta
school,
say.
the night before school, I had to hide my weed in my backpack because I had it in my room, and my mom dropped in out of nowhere, so I had to get it in my backpack to like get it out of like the searchable kind of part of my room, right? Because like, why would she suspect my fucking backpack? You know, like that.
Yeah,
So,
that's where.
I
your
Oh, you mean
schoolwork
the
goes.
spot where any child smuggles anything out of the house?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, she didn't search my backpack because if she did, I wouldn't have accidentally brought weed to school the next day.
Uh-oh.
And in first
It's your
Spoiler
fault,
alert.
Mom. It's
in,
your
yeah,
fault,
it's
Mrs.
her
Morrissey.
fault. It's whoa, okay, come on. Why you doxing my mom?
Did
no,
you-
obviously
you-
people know
what-
my last name.
You've introduced yourself by your
Rob,
first and
you
last
edit
name
this.
every
You can
episode.
bleep anything. You edit this.
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Dr. Morrissey. That way they'll never know. That way they'll never
Oh,
know who I'm
I mean-
referring to.
But yeah, I
Rob-
fucking first
Rob edits
period, I
this.
opened up my backpack and just a real hefty gust of weed came out, and my friend who we shouted out on last week's episode, my friend Zach, who had first period with me,
And what's
sat
his
next
spooky?
to me.
What is his spooky Halloween?
Zach
mask?
Screamer?
There
and
we go.
And
Yeah, nice. Okay, nice.
just
I'm a big
like-
fan.
he just like looks over at me and starts laughing, which is like, okay, not helpful. Thanks, guys. So I'm like
It's
quickly
literally-
trying
yeah,
to get
yeah.
off.
Oh, it's
like,
helpful
really-
though, because you
way
know
to
now.
way to like draw all the attention over here as I try to throw
Yeah.
all this shit out of my bag.
Like might as well like start squinting your eyes and be like, "Whoa,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Is that weed?
Whoa, Cheech, I don't
Yeah.
know." Yeah.
Because we're in high school. It's funny.
Yeah,
Okay, go on, Rob. I'm sorry.
I decided that like the only way to keep it from, I was like, if I put this in my locker, it's just going to smell up the hall, and then boom, all the lockers get searched. And not only do they find it in mine, maybe I get other people or something. But so what I ended up doing was I took all my books out of my bag in between periods, like out in the hall, and I just carried all my books in my hand all day like an idiot with
Jesus
my
Christ.
empty backpack.
Dude, you gave me
I
such
did that-
fucking.
I did
So you
that
could like
every
drop it in the
day.
trash can, or like.
No, it's literally because my backpack was only
no.
just smell-proof enough.
I understand. Yes.
But it's like if I have to open my bag for anything, I'm
I now
so-
understand. So you never. Okay, so you like walked through the hallways like a girl with big boobs who was trying to hold it for the rest of the day.
yes, it's kind of exactly, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
This is this is good. This is good podcasting. I love
Like
it.
having to talk to Officer McLaughlin on my way out of the
Oh,
school
Mac.
that day and just being like, this is it. But it was like a really nice interaction, and I got.
Was he flirting with you because he thought you?
Yeah.
He was flirting with me. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just trying to fuck, and so it was a really good.
God
It was a
damn it,
really
O'Mac.
fine interaction. Officer, I'm the detective. You're
I'm
looking for the mayor.
I
The
mean, I
judge
just
right
remember
here.
feeling.
D-Mac.
I
Yo,
remember
my name was
feeling like
D-Mac.
the
Detective
definition of the
McLaughlin.
grade below
D-Mac.
us being like, oh, these kids don't know what the fuck they're doing. Some kid with a couple of kids.
dab pen.
Yes, exactly. One of the kids like thought he was being cool on a day that he brought dabs to school for a bunch of his like underclassmen friends and gave that to them with their G pens.
Wow.
And then I thought he
Yep.
thought he was being like cool and like jokingly, quote unquote, blew that pen in front of the school resource officer. And then of course everyone here knowing who our school resource officer was like, all right, so you come to my office now. And then that kid not having
Wait, no,
like,
dox him for a second. Say his name because I.
but like that kid not having the like what's it called? Like clearly it was just one of those things where it's like, well, that's a younger grade where they don't understand like honor among thieves or that shit where it's like one thing. I mean, Rob, I don't know if this actually goes for the rest of the people here, but like one thing we had established within our friend group is if we were at a friend's house and we were smoking weed, the person whose house we were at is the one who took the fall for the weed.
It was a.
That's how that goes. That code of honor did not exist with this kid because I mean like the officer was like, yeah, no, he was like, what did you have? How did you do this? And he's like, yeah, and I also brought it into school and gave it to these 6 kids today. It's
here's
whoa,
a picture.
wait,
Here's a
he
selfie I took with every
snitched
one
on
of them. Here's proof.
Whoa!
Like,
So
it was one of
he
those
was
things where
just like
it's a
pissed
classic.
that
Like
he
you're
got-
saying too much. You could just take the fall here, but you're revealing
You
way
could
too much, my
literally,
friend.
you could probably
Yeah.
like bully one of those kids into giving you back one of those pens.
And I've also been on the
Yeah.
opposite end of that myself, where it's like the kid just said too much to his mom, and you're like, dude, I love you, but why the fuck would you ever say that? Like, why would you
Yeah.
keep talking in that way? It's it's mind blowing.
I see that point from Philly. I totally get that point to you, but me personally, my mom and drugs and me never mixed. Like I did drugs in high school and I fucked around a lot.
Oh, your mom didn't
And-
like that you were
Yeah, your
doing
mom
drugs?
didn't approve.
I'm glad
of
you never
doing
did
drugs
drugs
at a
with you in
young
high
age.
school.
It's so funny that
That's
your
fucking
mom
weird.
and drugs didn't
I
gel.
didn't like it, is what I was gonna say.
She wasn't like hanging.
Actually, can I retroactively call like parental services real quick?
Yes. I was always very honest about it though. Like I did fuck around and do a lot of dumb shit, but I was honest about it. I told my parents like, yeah, I took too many mushrooms. I am tripping right now and I am freaking the
Oh,
fuck
whoa.
out. And like no matter
I
what,
told
like I
my-
came home high and I'd be like, yeah, I was smoking weed with this, so and so. And
I
was
would
14,
only
15,
tell my
I was
mom
a
that I
kid,
was
and
smoking weed. I would never go past weed, and
I'd be
cigarettes were below
perfectly
weed.
honest. I don't think I've ever lied.
Yeah,
Even when
I,
I did
And
coke once or
cigarettes were
twice,
also
I
encouraged.
said that and
Well, yeah, because cigarettes are like, well, thank God you're not smoking weed. It's like, it's
yeah,
you know,
exactly. Then
crazy.
you own
But-
up to that, and they're like,
Because my
at least
mom
you're not doing
hated.
coke. And
She
then
would hate when I would just own up to being high, and I would always be like, Mom, there's like pill heads in my grade that are like,
that I know,
you know,
yes,
doing not well. They're not doing well. They're my age and they're pill heads, and you're getting
They
mad
want
at me.
to die.
Well, I mean,
You're
also
getting
not
mad
doing,
at
not
me
doing
because I'm
well,
not smoking
not doing
weed.
well, but also, I mean, like in a not funny way, just not around here in 2020 anymore. Like,
They
that's just
want-
a
I
reality
didn't want to say it.
situation.
I didn't want to say it.
No,
I
it's-
didn't. I didn't.
No, I
want
mean,
to say
I don't mean that in a comedic way. I just mean it's one of those things where it's like I think parents really need to come to grips with like when you demonize certain things, it pushes kids in a deeper way to like crave
Mhm.
different things, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think,
Like, yeah, I completely agree.
I honestly think if I like smoked weed for the first time, my mom was like, "Oh yeah, weed, that cool thing," I'd be like, "Lame." My mom likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna smoke weed ever.
Well,
This
dude,
sucks. I'm gonna
my
fucking be a
mom-
nerd my whole life.
My mom was a cigarette smoker, and so like for her, she never did any drugs, and it was just like that. I got her. I would catch her like in this trap all the time, where it's like you would rather me smoke the thing that gives me cancer.
Definitively,
it's like
scientifically,
is proven.
Yes.
there's an Aaron Eckhart
rather than-
movie all about this.
I am
On that-
I am
on that
so
note,
proud to live in the state that
Because
has
of,
it.
I mean, honestly, yeah, because
It
of
is
Zach.
nice.
Zach was like a big factor in opening my eyes to how easy it is for somebody like me, especially in a fucking pandemic where it's not encouraged to do in doctor appointments for getting a weed card. So you can do that shit virtually or just over the phone in my case.
That just came about during pandemic,
Yes,
basically.
well, that's kind of what I'm saying.
It's
It's
like
like
people
if
have
there's
got
a
to
time,
get this fucking
if,
weed.
that's kind of I mean, like I'm
Get
low-key
it,
being
man.
like, get out there, folks. But
During,
it's one of those
during
things
that
where
2
Pennsylvania-
weeks,
there's
to
misconceptions. My mother is not an unintelligent woman by any means. She is, well informed in
she's
her
an
own
amazing
right.
woman who
Drag
prescribed me
her.
opiates because
Yep.
blur,
Uh,
bleep, bleep, bleep.
Are you saying I should drag her because she's a fucking queen? Absolutely.
She's
yes, my
amazing,
mother's a
and
queen. All I will
please.
say is just that my mother had a misconception about what it meant to have a weed card to the extent that she thought there was a doctor prescribing me a certain type of weed and a certain
dosage.
amount of it that I had to
Crazy
yes.
smoke.
rack,
And-
2 grams
and
a
she
week,
was-
and 1 gram of blue
Yes,
cheese.
God,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so when
you
I
would
got
go up
when
to the
she had found
counter
out
and they would weigh it
Sean,
all
yeah.
out in
because
very
because my weed card was delivered to her place because I used my mother's home address for mail and stuff like that.
open all your
Um,
mail, and you should have called the fucking FBI on her because it's a federal offense.
Let's not. All right. Well, I now realize
Take
I'm
him
incriminating
out.
my mother. And, hypothetically, no. But all I need to say is
An
that,
alleged
she was
Paradol.
allegedly in parody. She was not super happy to see that I got a weed card, and actually even accused me of like scamming the system. Where I felt like shaking her and saying, the fact that it's illegal is the scam, mother. Like that. Like that was
God,
the
oh my
thing.
God.
Where
You
but-
shaking her violently, but very calmly saying that to
Yes.
her.
oh, just psycho shit, absolute psychopath shit.
So yeah, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching or listening rather to the Buttery Males podcast. Tune in next week where we're going to talk about some more crazy fun stuff.
Next week,
Yeah,
next
yeah.
week, Frazzle Drip in the house. Okay.
No!
First official guest. I'm your
Our only fan, Frazzle Drip, wants it. He wants Frazzle Drip on the podcast, so we're giving it to you, baby.
It's been hugely requested. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So.
and I'm
take
really
care,
looking
Alright.
forward to our conversation. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Jacob Boyer.
I'm Brendan Boris.
I'm Jacob Demansky.
See.
I'm Zach Mortar. Later, my phone died.
Bye,
I doubt they got
guys.
It literally showed
Rob,
up.
yeah, Rob,
Okay,
could you just
so-
get a clean
so
take
Zach,
on Rob Morrissey real quick?
Rob Murray. Did it cut out again?
Yeah.
It's,
All right.
Let's, all right, yeah.
All right.
Zach, good
No,
night to
I'll
you.
do it. Everyone, hold on. Morrissey.
This is not working. It's
No
not
way.
working. All right, I'll shut
It's
up.
good.
All right.
We'll get it later.
Rob